Boo Carter has been dismissed from Tennessee football, and honestly, it's about time.
You are Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, good Sunday evening, everybody. Welcome into it. This is Locked On Vols, little bonus content here. I'm your host, Cain, a member of the VolQuest.com team here in town, covering your Tennessee Volunteers each and every single day. We are a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every single day, and that is the number one sports podcasting platform out there, or podcasting company out there. So that is really, really cool stuff. A little bonus content here. Going to go maybe 12, 15 minutes. Going to be really short. Got a Monday show coming up. I've already recorded, and I just got done, and then this news officially broke. And even in that, I say maybe we'll have news about Boo Carter by the time you hear this, and I didn't realize it was going to be this soon. So wanted to get a little bonus show out there quickly and kind of react to it, because I'm a normal Monday show that you'll have in your listening devices and on YouTube for Monday morning. It's not going to really mention Boo Carter that much. But Boo Carter has officially been dismissed from the Tennessee football team. And that news broke, we'll call it just shy of 4:30 on Sunday afternoon, VolQuest.com. We had it over there. A couple other outlets did as well. But I mean, this was coming, right? This should surprise nobody. Unfortunately, this kind of was what it was. 2 weeks ago, Boo Carter did not play a defensive snap against the Oklahoma Sooners. Yesterday, Boo Carter did not even show up, was not present for the Tennessee football game against New Mexico State. Man, when you do that, obviously that's just nothing good's going to come of it. I mean, your days are obviously numbered within a program, and that's kind of where Boo Carter was. It's been an absolute disaster of a season for Boo Carter, and it's really unfortunate, because we'll talk about some of his accomplishments and talk about where Tennessee goes from here on the football field and all that. But I mean, fact of the matter is, you're a really good player, and I talked about this in Saturday night's postgame show, reaction show. Boo Carter's a really good player, and in fact, even after the whole Nico debacle and all that, over the summer when we kind of did, Boogie and I kind of did our re-rankings and all that of our Tennessee football player draft, I still had Boo Carter number one. This was just before all the summer drama as well, based on just his athletic ability, based on what he can bring to the table and his versatility and how he can impact games in different ways. And Boo had a really good freshman season, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. Boo had a really good offseason, a really good up until July, a really good offseason. And then July hits, and he started missing some Tennessee functions and some of the Tennessee football, stuff that was supposed to happen, workouts and meetings and all that type of stuff. And then it all went downhill. He came back for fall camp, and he had to essentially earn his spot back on the football team, and he had to earn the trust back of his teammates, of the coaches. And he missed some time during fall camp because of that. Did not practice in the scrimmages in fall camp because of that up until the very last one, essentially. And entered the season because of his own doings as an outsider looking in. He was not the starter at Star to begin the year. He's not been the starter at Star all year long. In fact, there's only been one game where Boo Carter has played more snaps than Jalen McMurray all game long. And last year, you kind of split the star position between Boo Carter and Christian Harrison, who's now at Cincinnati. But Boo Carter took on more and more as the season went along, and Boo Carter kind of took over that starting position as the year went along, and it was his, and he earned it. And so he was, a preseason All-SEC coming into the year and all that, and then you see it in like this, it's rather disappointing. So, but I mean, again, this was a disaster essentially for, Boo Carter this year. Look what Boo Carter's done this season alone, and it's not been much because, again, of his own actions over the summer. He played 27 total snaps against Syracuse, 24 total snaps against ETSU, 28 snaps against Georgia, 40 snaps against UAB, 32 against Mississippi State, 35 against Arkansas, 32 against Alabama, 21 against Kentucky, none. He played no defensive snaps against Oklahoma in that game at Neyland Stadium a couple weeks ago, and then, of course, did not show up to Tennessee, the Tennessee-New Mexico State game over the weekend. Sunday afternoon, Boo Carter took to his own Twitter accounts, and he had this to say. He had a graphic saying Tennessee, Boo Carter expected to enter the transfer portal. And then he said this in the context of his tweet. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the University of Tennessee coaches, administrators, and fans for a wonderful 2 years. Unfortunately, my season has been cut short due to injury. I have decided to enter the transfer portal, and I'm excited about the opportunities going forward. Boo Carter. There is a bit of a hip flexor deal there, okay? There is a bit of a hip flexor deal, and nobody is 100% at this point in time in the season. Nobody is. Just facts. Everybody's banged up, battered, and bruised one way, shape, or another. Do I think Boo Carter could have played in this football game? I don't know. I mean, to the best of my knowledge of the situation, I don't think this was anything that was going to keep him out for an extended period of time. So sure, there's a bit of an injury there, but I think this is more or less, obviously, just because of all the drama and all the offseason stuff and everything that's kind of come with this saga, not just this past weekend, but everything that's since July, essentially, with Boo Carter. So Boo Carter comes out there and says that his season's been cut short due to injury. Boo Carter's been dismissed from the football team. Any way you want to spin it, Tennessee and Boo Carter have parted ways, and that's kind of where we are right now. But again, I just pointed out there, the snap counts. He's not been a major factor for Tennessee so far this year at all. You look at what Boo Carter's done defensively this year, 25 tackles. He's got 11 punt returns, 25 tackles, 4.5 TFLs, 3 passes defended, 3 forced fumbles. He has a sack in 9 games. He's returned 11 punts for a total of 145 yards, averaging 13.2 yards per return. He returned 4 punts for 94 yards alone against ETSU in September. He had 2 for 35 yards 2 weeks later against UAB. Outside of those 2 games, however, Carter has a total of 16 yards on 5 punt returns and didn't even really attempt to return a punt against Oklahoma a few weeks ago. So again, Boo Carter's been a complete non-factor this year, and it's unfortunate. It's sad because he got so much talent. But because of the way he carried himself with the drama a little bit, leading into the summer, leading into the season, and obviously the last couple of weeks, Tennessee and Boo Carter parted ways, and he had a really productive freshman season. Everybody kept asking me on Saturday, like, what's the latest with Boo Carter? I'm like, guys, I don't know right now. And honestly, Boo Carter's not even registering for me. And I don't mean that to be rude, but he's just been a non-factor, a complete non-factor for Tennessee this year. Let's take a look more about Boo Carter. We'll see what Tennessee is missing, where Tennessee can go for depth at the star position and at the punt return position, and kind of some of the highlights of Boo Carter's time here on Rocky Top. But Boo Carter and Tennessee no longer a marriage. Boo Carter's been dismissed from the Tennessee football program, and Tennessee will move on in that regard. More coming up here on this bonus content show Sunday afternoon. This is Locked On Vols. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on all the action than over at FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride that hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who's going to score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game more exciting, especially those when your team are making that late game push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So, what are you waiting for? Head on over to FanDuel Sportsbook today to sign up to play your game with FanDuel. It's official sports betting partner of NBA, and it is where you can make every moment more. That's FanDuel. Future bets, college football playoffs, college basketball starting right now, prop bets, same-game parlays, all that and more is over at FanDuel Sportsbook. Again, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Football season is here for a couple more weeks. The rivalries, the tailgates, there's just nothing like it. But sometimes when you're trying to buy tickets for those sporting events, for those football games, that process is tougher than the game itself. Endless queues, rising fees at checkout, all that and more. But I use Game Time app because I don't have to deal with any of that. It's the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets at the best prices, no surprise fees. What you see is what you pay for. I pulled up the Game Time app, and in just a couple of taps, I saw amazing deals. I'm talking about your favorite college football games for as low That's $25. The app made it super simple. I could even see the exact view from my seat before buying. I love those zone deals as well. I pick the section, Game Time picks the seats, and I save so much money. Honestly, it's faster, it's less stressful than any other way that I bought tickets in the past. So, take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, put in the redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Again, we welcome you back here to a little Sunday evening bonus content. This is Locked On Vols. Boo Carter and Tennessee football are no more. Multiple sites are reporting that Boo Carter has been dismissed, including VolQuest.com, has been dismissed from the Tennessee football program. Boo Carter's come out on social media, and he is saying that due to a season-ending injury, his season has been cut short. He will be entering the program. He does thank Tennessee, the administrators, the fans for a wonderful 2 years, but he will enter the portal. Any way you want to spin it, that chapter's closed, and it's about time, honestly, because it's been nothing but frustration on both sides. It's been nothing but drama with the fans, it feels like. And it is sad, though, because he's a bright, young, really good football player. And you look at what Boo Carter has accomplished throughout his years. Kind of go back to his freshman season, a season ago. He was an on-3 true freshman preseason All-American before, again, his true freshman season. He was the SEC Freshman of the Week against Florida. Tennessee's about to play Florida this week. Of course, last year that was on October the 14th. He was a SEC Freshman Player of the Week for that week after having a lot of tackles and playing a big role in that win. He made the academic honor roll last year. He made the SEC All-Freshman team. He averaged 16 yards. I want to say 16 yards per punt return, in the work that he did last year. He entered this season as an SEC fourth team selection by Athlon Sports and the third team all SEC preseason by both the media and the coaches. So Boo Carter was expected to, have a pretty significant role. He was a 4-star top 300 prospect out of Bradley Central High School in East Tennessee. We had a couple of his games on television. Very dynamic player with the ball in his hands. Played safety, played corner a little bit, played running back, played receiver on offense. He was just a game breaker. He was one of those guys that kind of had that it factor. And I'm intrigued to know what Boo Carter is going to do from here. Obviously, he's done this year, enters the transfer portal. Colorado's always been that popular school for Boo Carter. A lot of rumors always talking about him and Dion and all that and more, kind of, its ability to maybe play two ways. I think Colorado has wanted that opportunity for Boo Carter for quite some time. Tennessee won out his initial recruitment over Michigan and Colorado back, a couple cycles ago. So we'll see what Boo Carter is going to do whenever the transfer portal officially opens in January. But for now, Jalen McMurray, again, has been playing primarily star for the most of the season. If Jalen McMurray needs a break, I'm intrigued to know what Tennessee would do. Tyler Bundy, a walk-on reserve, is a guy that plays a little bit of star. I think Marcus Gorey is a guy that can play some star. But I think if it came down to it, Caleb Beasley, who's been playing safety this year, behind Idris Farouk and Andre Turrentine, I think Caleb Beasley would make a whole lot of sense to come down and play star if Jalen McMurray got hurt or if he needed a couple of breaks, a couple of snaps to get a breather. I think Caleb Beasley would make a whole lot of sense in that regard. So not a whole lot to say here, to be honest with you. Again, it's been a long time coming, and it's unfortunate because he's got so much talent. And it's unfortunate because he got off to a really good start here at Tennessee. But it's like when those things started happening in July, it was just a snowball effect. It was just sprinting downhill. And you felt like at some point it was never going to be resolved between him and the team, him and his players, or him and his teammates. And that's unfortunate because, again, pretty solid player. So we talked about what Tennessee could do at star, at punt return. DeJuan Morris, true freshman, is going to get those opportunities now. Braylon Staley is also a guy that can obviously return punts for Tennessee as well. Just got 2 more games left, and the bowl game. But I think a great opportunity for DeJuan Morris to show everybody what he can do in that regard. He's a guy that can, Boo Carter being in the return game can change the course of football games. With field position, but never really outside of some of those cupcakes. Again, we talked about the UAB game. We talked about the ETSU game. Was kind of a non-factor in the return game as well. So Boo Carter, no longer with the University of Tennessee. And again, it is about time in that regard. So I wanted to get this short little show out here this Sunday evening because, again, I recorded Monday's show and didn't make mention of it because I didn't know when the news would kind of break or anything like that. But wanted to get this out here. I'll take your questions for Tuesday's show. Send those in to _Cainer and at Locked On Vols, and of course the Locked On Vols YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys as always for making Locked On Vols your first listen, your first watch each and every single morning. We will be back at it Monday morning, tomorrow morning, ready to roll for Florida week. This is Locked On Vols.